The story of Isaac and Ishmael is one that always provokes thought and a bit of head-scratching. It's a narrative found within the pages of Genesis, the first book of the Bible, and like so many stories there, it's loaded with allegory, life lessons, and yes, a lot of family drama. The basics: Abraham, known as Abram before God changed his name, is the central figure in this tale of two sons. He's told by God that he will be the father of a great nation. Here's the catch. His wife Sarah, known as Sarai initially, appears to be barren. When divine messages take a bit too long by human standards, Sarah gets resourceful, if not a bit impatient, and offers her Egyptian maidservant Hagar to Abraham to bear a child. And so Ishmael is born. Divine interventions. You'd think that might settle things, but God's plan was always a bit more specific. Despite their advanced age, Sarah is promised a child of her own. It's a miraculous turn of events, but Isaac is eventually born, and he's the one to carry on the covenant that God has made with Abraham. A family divided. With Isaac's birth, tension escalates. Sarah sees Ishmael, who is at least 14 years older than Isaac, mocking or possibly threatening her son, and that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. She demands that Abraham send Hagar and Ishmael away, and after some divine reassurance, he reluctantly does so. God's selection. Now, as for why God would choose Isaac over Ishmael when both sons were obedient, it's a complex question. There are many ways to answer this depending on theological perspectives. One common explanation is that Isaac's birth was the fulfillment of God's specific promise and an exercise in faith for Abraham and Sarah. The choice underscores the importance of faith in God's timing and promises, and establishes a particular lineage through which God would continue to work his plan for humanity. The bigger picture. Ishmael wasn't rejected or forgotten by God. He too was blessed, and became a great nation as God had promised to Hagar. It's emblematic of how God's plans are often broader and more inclusive than we might initially see or understand. Tying it back to today. In the lively streets of Portland, Oregon, or anywhere really, we frequently see instances where someone gets a promotion, another doesn't, or someone seems favored over another. We're reminded that fairness isn't always about equal distribution, but about divine orchestration that often asks us to trust without the full picture in view. So, while it might seem perplexing why one son was chosen over the other, the tale of Isaac and Ishmael is one small thread in a much larger tapestry that speaks to God's sovereignty and the intricate weaving of human history. It serves as a historical and spiritual foundation for three major world religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, each of which traces its roots to Abraham's faith and his two sons.